Hi, my name is Sydney Haw, and I will be going over the Module 6 reading reflections. Starting off with the main point, it starts to talk about the different strategies and tools used to discover students' ability to read and to also observe their phonics level. These strategies and tools help teachers observe how children are using their thinking process and how they process different words and vocabularies instead of focusing on their memorization. One particular test that is talked about in the readings is the tile test. And this tile test kind of just helps with understanding young children's phonics and reading skills, and it also gives insight to teachers on how students apply their knowledge with phonics. As a future educator, it's important for teachers to kind of focus on what students understand and how they are applying their thinking to the way how they read and comprehend things. When observing a student, teachers normally look or try to identify the strengths and weaknesses of a student and what they're capable of when students read. And it's also important for teachers to understand that not all the students are at the same reading level or have the same phonics level. So they have to use different strategies to help students improve their phonics and reading levels. Kind of as mentioned before, as a future teacher or as a current teacher, it's important to see how kids develop over time, especially with their phonics skills, and what type of strategies they use to help improve that area, and what kind of tools teachers can use to help meet the needs for students and help build their literacy development as well. I know from my personal experience, I have been in different types of reading groups when I was younger, and my reading skills and phonics skills were not that great at that time. So definitely with my speech and with my reading skills, I had to have a lot of help through tutors and with multiple teachers, and that took a while from kindergarten, and I would say to 4th grade is when I had to get the little extra help than my other peers. But yeah, another main point I wanted to talk about was observations. Doing observations as a teacher is important. Being a teacher, it's important to observe your students when they are reading, not mainly focusing on how they pronounce the word correctly, but more importantly, like looking at how they're able to read and comprehend the information that they are reading. It's important to kind of just take a look of how students read a particular text. So it could be students rereading a text. It could be how students break up words in the text to pronounce it, like particular words, and so forth. Another thing is to support the students. I think it's important to advocate and kind of just push the students to try their best and not to discourage them, because students will they will think for a long period of time like their mistakes, if it negatively or positively impacts the way the teacher helps them with their phonics and reading levels. Another thing I would say that I found kind of impactful, or kind of like learned something new, is trying different strategies to help students read and to pronounce words. I would say reading out loud helps students hear the word and comprehend what is being read to them. Is an activity that can be done. Another activity that helps encourage students to increase their reading levels and their phonics level, and just with improving their vocabulary, is kind of just encouraging them to like write words that they don't know. Like if they're reading a book, they can write words that they don't understand or they don't know how to spell, and write it in like a writing journal, for them to like practice new words and new vocabulary. I know from experience as a after-school teacher, I work with TK and Kinder, 3rd and 6th, so working with them to improve like their reading skills and to build their vocabulary, I have my students write down words that they don't understand when we do independent reading time, and it really encourages them to learn new vocabulary words, and it makes it fun for them to learn and also feel accomplished in a way, for them to just feel like they are learning a little each day. I would say something I've learned from this reading is that it's critical to work with kids with different reading and phonics level, and just to have the patience and strong mindset to encourage students to build their reading and vocab levels. There are so many different ways to go through not go through, but to build their reading levels. And you don't have to stick with just one strategy to help students work their way up with their phonics and reading levels. And that is my reflection for Module 6.